What's going on, guys, and welcome back to day 3 of how to become a content creator in 10 days or less, a mini YouTube series by me, Hammerdance, on the channel here. So today on day 3, we're going to be talking about branding, right? This is going to be creating your brand. Okay, so there's a few things that I would like to talk to you guys about here. And number one thing when it comes to brand, it's like the first thing you see when you find a new creator. Look at any big creator on the platform. Even smaller creators now have gotten pretty smart when it comes to thinking about their brand and how they want to look to their audience. But before we dive into it, guys, let's give a shout out and thank you to our sponsor for today's video, Own.tv. Own.tv is the place to go, guys, if you're looking for some fresh new graphics for your stream. Whether you're on Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook gaming, you'll find something that's a perfect fit for your channel. They offer full themed overlay packages, which are great if you're trying to give your stream a complete makeover, but let's say you're just looking to pick up some new alert graphics. Don't worry, because they've got you covered there too. You could find single graphics such as alerts, banners, panels, and logos as well. And one of the best parts about most of these overlays is that they are completely modular. So if you and your friends all pick up the same overlay, such as this Rodan one right here, you can change the colors and tweak it to match your brand, and none of you will have the exact same overlay. If you guys are looking to take your stream to the next level, be sure to check out Own.tv using my link below to support the channel. All right, so welcome back, guys. So what we want to talk about today is a few things when it comes to creating your brand, right? The number one thing, like I said earlier, is that we want to come up with how your brand is going to look to your audience, right? If you look on my channel, if you scroll down almost all my content going back to when I first started this channel, my branding is relatively the same. I have all the same kind of color schemes. I present myself in almost the exact same way every time I make a video for the past 5 years. That is my brand appearance, right? My logo. You guys know my color scheme is like white and blue. These things, they seem trivial, right? They seem very small, and but they do make a massive difference to your audience, because your audience sees you for the first time, right? You have a good brand, you have a nice branding style on your content, on yourself if you're visible in your videos, and that is something that sticks with them in their memory, and they remember that. So when you create videos, they expect that from you, and that is super important, right? So number one thing is you want to start thinking about what you want your brand to look like, and your brand is going to be either your logos, your color schemes, your graphics, yourself in general, how you look. But then the next important thing when it comes to your brand on your channel is your audio, right? What does your content sound like? I'm sure you all have watched creators before, and no creator sounds exactly like another creator on the platform. Everyone is unique in their own way. So create your brand's audio, right? Figure out what you want your content to sound like. Do you want it to sound like my content? Do you want it to sound like someone else's content? Maybe, you know, some people create content with like a gaming headset mic, like kind of like poor quality, but it's part of their brand, it's part of their content, and people expect that, right? Here's an example, right? Let's go back to how branding looks, right? I don't know if any of you here know Asmongold, but Asmongold's brand is Asmongold's brand, if you know what I'm talking about. And imagine if Asmongold turned on his stream or did his react videos in a mansion with like tons of nice stuff behind him and a really nice backdrop, and no longer would it be Asmongold, is what I'm trying to say here. It's part of his brand. So take what I'm saying here, you know, and tweak it to your content and your channel, right? Figure out what you want your brand to look like. Figure out what you want your brands to sound like, right? The audio, you want to figure out what you want your brand to sound like. You know, we talked about when it comes to looks, coming up with like a color scheme, logos, graphics, things like that. Maybe you don't need any of that stuff for your kind of content, but if you do, make sure it's consistent across all your designs and things like that. So, you know, to get some ideas, what you can do is watch other creators in your niche or in your topic or your specific area, and maybe pull things from them that you like and kind of create your own unique style while being influenced by other people's styles as well. That's completely fine. So that's something that I think you guys should start doing here on day 3, is think about what you want your brand to look like, what you want your brand to sound like, and how you want to present yourself in your videos, whether you're visible or if it's just your voice. You know, figure out what you want that to be like for your audience watching, and then make sure that you keep that consistent and stick with that going forward throughout all of your videos. Now, once you've figured out what you want your brand to look like and sound like, you're probably sitting there like, okay, I know this is what I want it to look like, but I'm not really sure how to go about making it look like this, because maybe you're not a graphic designer or anything like that, but there are other options out there. If you can't design any of your own graphics, there's plenty of free graphics online that you can kind of find, and that's why, you know, own.tv sponsors most of my content, and they're a great place to stop by when you're looking for graphics and things like that for streams. You could even use some of the graphics in your video content as well. So definitely check them out. But you can also head on over to like Fiverr. There's a bunch of artists on there, a bunch of designers who will design you full packages for your content for pretty good prices. You know, you can get an entire branding for your channel, you know, for your YouTube content and graphics to use in your videos for probably under $80. So it's not too expensive. And then you have that stuff forever, and you can keep using it in all your videos and things like that, because we want to keep it consistent. So there are options out there for that. And as far as the audio goes, that's completely up to you, what you want your videos to sound like, how you want to sound. That's going to go and kind of coincide with your budget and your equipment that you already have. If you want to purchase new equipment, if you want to use stuff that you already have, that's completely fine too. But I would say one of the #1 things is the appearance of your brand. The appearance of your brand is going to be the first thing that viewers notice when they find your channel. So it's something that you want to really spend some serious time and think about it, right? I mean, if you go back, let's go back maybe 7 or 8 years, right? Look at streamers and look at content on YouTube, right? Content on YouTube was very bland back then compared to what it's like now. It's harder to stand out now. So you need things on the screen or things that you're wearing or things like that, that viewers can be like, hey, I know that guy. Hey, I know that girl. They always wear that. That's what they always look like. That's what they always sound like. It's very important, and I know it doesn't seem that important. But setting this up early on as you're starting to grow your channel is actually super beneficial to you, because it's going to really help your audience kind of figure out who you are as a person, figure out who you are as a creator, and decide whether or not they like it and they want to stick around, or, you know what, maybe this person's not for me. I don't really like how they talk. I don't really like how their videos look. I don't like how they sound. Not for me. But it really does help, you know, gather that initial audience that will keep coming back to your future videos. So very easy one on day 3. Just think about your brand, start working on creating your brand. If you can't create the designs and things like that yourself, go on Fiverr, check out own.tv. There's plenty of places where you can get graphics and things like that made specifically the way that you want for your content. So if you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel and turning on post notifications so you don't miss the next time I post a video. And if you want to hang out with me live, I do stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/hammerdance Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So anyways, guys, that's all from me. I want you to keep those hammers up, and I'll see you next time. I'm gonna just, yeah.